crazy college football Saturday. Last time I checked, guys. Texas is getting beat by Kansas 35-14 at halftime. Yes, I think West Virginia will beat Texas in Morgantown next Saturday. Okay? And I know, Kansas led Oklahoma 10-0 at halftime and they came back. 35-14 is a much bigger lead. Let me lower this real quick. That's a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, crazy Saturday so far. Yeah, Iowa does beat Minnesota. Minnesota 27-22. I thought Minnesota could win that ball game, and they had a chance, but not enough offense. And Iowa somehow came up with enough offense. 27-22 Hawkeyes. Of course, my team, West Virginia, lost by 17, just like I pretty much predicted. I said 14, maybe 17 points West Virginia loses by. Despite outgaining and out-first downing Kansas State. So what made us lose? Self-inflicted wounds. An interception caused by a deflection off Winston Wright's face mask, which would have been a touchdown. That pass would have. A block punt by Kansas State. A headbutt by our defensive linebacker, or defensive lineman, Vandarius Coleman. And we actually intercepted Skylar Thompson on that play, but because he decided to headbutt Skylar Thompson at the end of the play, of course, that was overturned, and he was ejected. So, could Sark be fired after year one? No, but it's proving what I was saying, and that was firing Tom Herman and hiring Steve Sarkisian was a stupid move by Texas. Stupid. Did I mention stupid? Yeah, it was dumb. Tom Herman just finished his, third year at Texas? And Texas wasn't doing horrible. Maybe not competing for the playoffs or winning the Big 12 like, Texas has standards all of a sudden. But he was building, and he was recruiting at a high level. Now Texas has to restart, and they're getting beat by Kansas at halftime with a 4-5 record. Texas is 4-5. They are horrible this year. Terrible. And that's why you don't fire a coach too soon. Texas is proving that point that I was trying to make. You can't fire a coach after 3 years. That's dumb. I don't even agree with Texas Tech firing Matt Wells, which, by the way, Texas Tech did beat Iowa State earlier, 41-38. The Red Raiders are going to a bowl. These programs that are firing their coaches after year 3 are trash. You're not going to build a program if you're going to fire a coach every 3 years. It's not going to happen. If your coach fails, he fails. But you have to give him 5 years to fail. If he's a failure after 5 years, it's time to fire him. Yes. 3 years? No. The Hurricanes, they're in this weird category because they routinely recruit in the top 20s. They got De'Aaron King to transfer, wasted him away. Manny Diaz is just not a good coach. And I know it's only his third year as well, but with all the talent that Miami has, they have enough talent to where they should be a 10-win season on a down year right now. On a down year. Now, if they reach their potential, they should be ACC Coastal champs, but they're not. If you look at the teams that are having success, what do they all have in common? Long-term coaches. Nick Saban at Alabama. Dabo Swinney at Clemson. Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. I mean, it can't be a coincidence, right? I don't think so. So, I mean, as sucky as it is when you go through these bad seasons, you have to have patience to at least see if they're going to fail. You have to see if the head coach is going to fail. You don't fire him before he actually fails. You have to give him the chance to actually fail. 3 years is not enough time to see if he's going to fail. It's not. Hold on, True. I'm letting my other phone charge up real quick. Here in just a minute, though. Here in just a minute. A few more minutes, you can call in. You know what? I might be able to... Go ahead and call in, True. I might be able to put you on speakerphone even with it on the charger. Alright, so I had to tilt y'all just a little bit farther up so I could do the call-in, and because I got to do phone to mic until I get internet and my soundboard, which we're working on that. It's coming, guys. So, yeah. What's going on, bud?
What's going on, man?
Pretty much what I expected, and pretty much the reaction I expected, and yet it still gets on my nerves.
I was hoping y'all pull that out.
No, well, Kansas State is a good team. They came into the game 6-3. It's on the road. West Virginia is not a very good team, let's be honest. And we're not ready to go on the road and upset a good Kansas State team. But I do think we'll beat Texas. Texas is getting beat by Kansas at halftime, 35-14. And then I think we will go on the road and beat Kansas and get to a bowl.
Well, I tell you what, man. Well, I hope y'all do be bowl eligible. But
yeah,
as a Florida State fan, I would like to humbly say, fuck the candy canes, baby.
You know, I didn't catch that game. What happened?
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so me and my friends were watching the game, and we're watching it. And for the first half, all the way up to the first half, it was the 20-7. Florida State was leading 20-7. In the third quarter, Florida State got completely shut out. Miami scored, went up 28-20, and then in the fourth quarter, Florida State got a field goal to make it 28-23. And at this point, I was like, man, it's over, because every time I watch it, Florida State has just never been able to pull out these wins.
Yep.
And that's going back to the Virginia Tech game 4 years ago, or 4 seasons ago.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And I was just like, man, I don't want to see it happen again. So I started watching it, and then I joked around with Dylan. I said, oh, yeah, Florida State, my friend, and he checked. He said, pull up the game. And we pulled it up, and we were fourth and 14, and Jordan Travis threw a bomb to Ja'Kai Douglas, I do believe, or Andrew Parchment, actually, who got it down to the 1 yard line, and with 30-something seconds left on the clock, scored a touchdown to seal the win, and then a 2-point conversion to just put the icing on the cake.
Man. Yeah, I picked Florida State to win that game because I thought it being at Doak Campbell and Miami not looking, elite. They looked very vulnerable throughout the year. I'm not surprised. I really am not. That's not saying, and no disrespect to you, that's not saying that Florida State's a good team. It's just that's a rivalry game. It's at Florida State. Miami vulnerable, that's a recipe for a loss for the Canes. So I'm glad y'all pulled it off. I had faith in y'all for that one.
You're right. I mean, Pigskin Pete and C-Dog both picked Florida State. I just wasn't ready to pull the trigger. I picked Miami.
That's one of those trend picks where it just looks right. It looks like that's what was supposed to happen.
You're right, and it feels great. It feels amazing because it's like 4 seasons of suffering, and now I finally don't have to hear just these Cane fans just come out the woodworks.
You need to go troll Coach Coop whenever you can.
Oh, I did. I was there for the whole live stream.
You got that? Okay, I got you. And you're on top of it, man.
I was on top of that. I was on that.
So these earlier in the live show, Okay, the situation with West Virginia, I've pretty much mapped it out, and it's pretty much happened exactly the way I said it would. Especially after the TCU win. I actually didn't think we would beat TCU, but after that, I laid it out. I said, guys, we have to split our home games between Iowa State and Oklahoma. That's exactly what we did. We beat Iowa State, lost Oklahoma State. I said, we're going to lose to Kansas State. Prepare yourself, and it might get a little ugly. It did. We lost. Last two games, we will beat Texas and Kansas. Oh, no, West Virginia not beating Texas. Texas is a good team. Texas is 4-5, and they're getting beat by Kansas at home, 35-14 at halftime. Yeah, we're going to beat Texas, guys. We're going to beat them good, actually.
I hope you guys come to the ACC with a winning record against Texas. I'll be happy.
Well, it depends on how many more years we play in the Big 12. It'll probably, what I'm hearing is we'll probably actually start ACC play like between 23 and 25. And this year we will tie the series. So it depends on if they leave next year. If they immediately leave, then we'll have a 500 record against them in the Big 12. So, well, that's not terrible. I'll take it.
Oh, man, I'm just so happy. That surprised me, honestly. The Miami-Florida State game, it just surprised me. I can't wait to see what everybody says, all the trolling and stuff that's going to happen. So it's going to be amazing and hilarious for me.
It's going to be a storm for Miami. That might be the icing on the cake to get rid of Manny, to be honest with you. I don't know. The dude I've never seen somebody underachieve with so much talent. I mean, Miami recruits in the top 20s consistently. They got
the only person I can think of is Mark Richt, right? I mean, all that talent, right?
Yeah, he did that at Georgia and Miami.
Yeah, it's sad.
And the crazy thing is, I'm not talking bad about him as a person because Mark Richt is a great guy. He just was a very mediocre coach, underachieved.
Right.
So, being a good guy doesn't win you football games.
Exactly.
You have to be a good coach.
Well, I just think this is a big momentum win for Florida State in terms of recruiting.
That's a big win for recruiting. Absolutely, yes.
For programming, building, and for Mike Norvell, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And next, we just beat one rival, and we're heading on to one that didn't look too good against Samford today.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's a winnable game.
It's a very winnable game. I like it. I like the odds in it. The only thing I don't like is it's rivalry games, and anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Florida is trash right now, man. They're garbage.
It's I really do feel like that team just don't want to play for Dan Mullen anymore.
No, he's a clown. The dude's a clown.
Exactly.
Straight up. So, I agree with that 100%. He's lost that team for sure.
Oh, man.
And his creepy wife doesn't help anything either.
Hey, man, that's how he does his recruiting, okay?
I know, but then they realize the sloppy seconds they're getting like, this is a little creepy, actually.
Yeah, all that kissy, yep.
And then they realize the goofy coach that's coaching them, she's doing her thing with him as well. Ugh, nasty.
It's weird.
Gross.
I would hate to be a Florida Gator fan right now.
No. Absolutely.
I would hate to be with them in general because they're never anything. So
they're not good, and they have high expectations. It's one thing to not be good, but when you have high expectations and you're not good, that's a miserable fan base. That is a miserable fan base.
Delusional as they get.
Yes. Absolutely. This is not the 90s anymore. This is not the 90s anymore.
Exactly. And I got to remind myself that too, because Florida State sucks. But it's okay. I think we're on the right trajectory.
Y'all just have to find the right. I think it's the assistant coaches that y'all need to get straightened out. I think Mike Norvell is actually a decent coach.
I thought that at first, but at the same time, I do need to start realizing that it is technically Mike Norvell's and that staff's still first season, true season with that team.
Yeah, that's true. And
I understand Kenny Dillingham we got from Auburn, and right now he did have to change the way he schemes because of the way Jordan Travis, our quarterback, is. He's not a very guy that's going to out there just air it out.
Yeah.
He's more of a mobile, get you in space guy. That's just what he is.
Yep.
And, I mean, he'll make a play out of nothing. That is true, but majority of the time, you don't want him throwing the ball.
Yeah, that's the problem. I agree
And
with that.
without a quarterback that can do a quarterback's job, it's kind of limiting to that offense coordinator.
He shouldn't be playing quarterback if he can't throw the ball.
That is true, but yeah, it's a weird world we live in nowadays.
But if that's all you have, that's all you got.
Exactly. I'm excited for Florida State. Go Noles, and long live the ACC. I'll let everybody else get on this.
And don't forget to come back on Wednesday live show. That's when we'll be doing the drawing for the Super Chat contest.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I'll come in.
All right, show starts at 7, all right?
All right, bye.
All right, later, man. Yeah, so the live show on Wednesday is whenever I'll be doing my drawing for the Super Chat prize. The prize is a full-size helmet of whoever your team is, and then a $50 prize from TriStateWhiskey.com. Sponsored by Jeff Grimm, a great supporter. Hold on. Dadgummit. All right, you're on with Golden Blue, dude.
GVD, as a Florida State fan, this is the best day we've had in a while, my man.
I had a feeling once he told me what happened today that I'm going to get a lot of Florida State callers in today. Yeah, that's a pretty good win for Florida State. Miami, Manny Diaz is not the right coach for Miami. He's not.
Yeah, I can speak for all the Coastal fans, so we tell y'all, you're welcome.
Yeah.
We're keeping me out for y'all.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Pitt gives you a big thank you for that.
Yeah.
Just for insurance. Miami wasn't really seriously in the talks, but they had that like 10% chance. Now they're absolutely 0% chance of winning the Coastal.
Yeah, for how they looked the last couple of weeks, I kind of thought we were going to get smoked, to be honest with you.
I wasn't buying it. It was other teams playing down to them, so they looked better than what they really were. It was a rivalry game. It was in Doak Campbell. My money was on Florida State. It really was. It just had that vibe to it. I didn't really. That's one of those games where you can't really look at the records. You look at the venue, and you look at, the rivalry. And I had to go with Florida State. And plus, Miami's not playing all that great. I know they had a couple of decent wins, but you have to take the entire season into account, not just a nice little mini hot streak.
Yeah, it's just hard to be optimistic with Florida State this year, man.
So what's y'all's last two games?
Boston College and Florida.
And Boston College, which one is home, which one is on the road? Or are they both on the road?
BC's on the road.
I'm thinking Florida's on the road, ain't it?
Florida's on the road too, yeah.
That's going to be, I think the Florida game is way more winnable than Boston College, but if somehow y'all can upset the Eagles, y'all can get to a bowl. That's the biggest hurdle. That would be Boston College. I think y'all beat Florida, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so, man.
I mean, Florida looked like garbage against Samford. They're done. They are done.
I would love to just rip into Florida right now and how much Dan Mullen's a clown, but we struggled with Samford a couple years ago. I can't really say too much.
But that was a couple years ago. That wasn't this year.
Yeah, but still, we didn't give up 52 to goddamn.
Oh my gosh. They won. They had to put up 70 points to beat Samford. What in the world?
Yeah, Dan Mullen.
What a
if
clown.
he's not fired at the end of this year,
yeah.
Honestly, Florida's just shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, here's the problem. And I called it. I called this. I tried to warn Florida fans, but they wouldn't believe me. Last year, yes, Florida won the East. Yes, they played Alabama tough. You still ended up with 4 losses with one of the best offenses in the nation. Your defense was garbage. What happened at the end of the year? They actually extended Dan Mullen. That made me laugh so much that I did that diss rap I don't know if you've seen it. I actually did a rap song about it, dissing that. That's how insane that was. And we're not seeing 2 or 3 years down the road that it was a bad decision. We're seeing immediately, the year after they extended him, how bad of a decision that was.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
Well, to Florida, they're gonna be stubborn. They ain't gonna listen.
And they're going to keep losing.
They're thinking they're doing it right, but in
Yep.
reality, they're the ones that are looking like the fools now.
And they'll keep losing too, because they won't listen.
That's what they need if they want to get Mullen fired, like literally everyone does.
Yeah. Well, the problem is now they have to keep him for at least, I would say, a minimum of 2 years, because that buyout is tremendous now because they extended him. They shot themselves in the foot with that one. Bad.
Well, it'll be a good couple years
Oh
for
yeah.
us Florida State fans watching Mullen and the Gators shoot themselves in the foot.
Especially the SEC East. They're like, yeah. They're stuck
Yeah.
with him. We get to beat their butts a few more times.
Man, I can't wait for it, man. And
Oh
then
yeah, me
also,
too.
I cannot just come on here and ignore Texas being back like always. Good old Texas football, am I right, GBD?
You like their plan, right? Firing a coach every 3 years. That's a rebuilding program right there. You can tell they're on the rise. They fire a coach every 3 years. Idiots.
Yeah, you just strolled into the end zone. Speaking of, it's 41-21.
41-21. Oh, Kansas just scored?
Yes, they did.
My gosh. Kansas could legitimately win that game. Holy crap.
I sure hope so.
Oh man, you talk about doing a video. Oh my gosh. I would definitely be doing a video on that. That is
If
insane.
you drop that Texas video tomorrow after they get stormed out the building by goddamn Kansas.
In their
I will be
own
the
their
first
own
one to-
building. Their own building.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah.
at Texas. It's not even on the road. That's at home.
Yeah, they're at home getting stormed, getting run out the place by a 1-8 Kansas team. They should honestly probably be 0-9 with a loss to an FCS school.
Yep. I agree with that.
Yeah.
They're crap.
Like, I knew they were bad, but holy, I
Yeah.
didn't think they were this bad.
Yep, they're that bad. I tried to tell everybody earlier in the live show that we're going to beat them, and they're like, man, no, Texas is too good for us to beat them at home. What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'll give you some good stuff before I go. I
Yeah.
hope your boys went out for you, GVD. Help them make that bowl game.
Oh yeah, those are our two easiest Big 12 games. Just happens to be the two that we need to get to a bowl. We got it.
Yeah, I think you guys do, really.
Yeah. And I'm not one of these delusional fans where I call a win where it's obviously going to be a loss. I predicted us to lose to Oklahoma State and Kansas State significantly.
Yep.
So, it's not one of these, oh, we're going to win and we get blasted. No. You can see the matchups, okay? Some matchups are just bad, and Oklahoma State was just a better team, way better team than West Virginia. We were still in that ballgame until the muff punt, though. And then, of course, Kansas State. Texas, Kansas, that's a different story. West Virginia is the better team, and we will beat them.
Absolutely, man.
So,
I really hope you guys do.
oh, yeah, I'm not worried about it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go. I'll let other people get on here. Before I go, I just want to say, fuck the Pitt Panthers. That's all.
I concur with that, man. Have a good night, bud.
You as well.
All right, bye. No fans are pretty happy right now. Super, super happy. Beating up on the Miami Hurricanes. In case for the people that don't know, they're new to Go to Blue Dude. Right now we're doing a Super Chat contest. The grand prize is a full-size helmet of whoever the winner is, your favorite team. Not a West Virginia helmet, unless you're a West Virginia fan and that's what you want. And a $50 prize from TriStateWoodsketch.com. They do really good stuff like that. That's part of the prize, sponsored by Jeff Grimm. $5 donation through Super Chat or PayPal equals one entry. So every $5 you donate, that's an entry. And the drawing will be on Wednesday. Live show starts at 7. The drawing will probably be around, I I'm going to say 8 o'clock. I'm going to do the drawing 8 o'clock. So if you want to get entered to that, $5 donation through Super Chat or PayPal. Let me get on here and I wonder if Joey's in the moderation. I said that earlier. Moderator. Because if you don't have the call-in number, you have to email me your name and the number you're calling from, and then I email you back the call-in number for the live show. That's how we try to control the troll population, because the first time I gave out the call-in number in the chat, the trolls, one after another after another. So, Joey, if you're in the chat, put out the email to send their information to, so we can get the number back to them. Yeah, you're on with Golden Blue, dude.
Yeah, hi. I'll make this quick. I just want to say, if you put this year's defense with 2018's offense, we win the Big 12.
Oh, I think we could make the playoffs. I agree with that. Yeah. No, well, I would go a step further. Last year's defense. You put last year's defense with 2018's offense, that's a playoff team right there.
That's a playoff team, for sure. It kind of makes me sad. I wish we could have had Holgerston as a coordinator, not a head coach.
I agree with that 100%. Yes.
I think he was a great offensive play caller, but two things. One, he didn't know anything about defense, and two, he couldn't motivate a paper bag.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
And people don't realize this either. The reason why West Virginia is in the situation we're in, as far as not having hardly any talent, is because he built teams through transfer portal. Yeah, he couldn't recruit at all. And that's why it's taken a few years for us to start getting in good recruits. And, a lot of our fan bases want results now. That's not how it happens. Neil Brown's first actual full recruiting class is next year. And it's a heck of a recruiting class, top 25. So, y'all can, if everybody wants to be depressed and say fire Neil Brown, that's fine. Be that way. But I have hope because I see what's coming in.
Yeah, everybody loves the transfer portal and getting these big name players until you realize that you only get about 2 years max out of them.
And it's not like a free slot. Those guys take up scholarships. So that's one less scholarship to recruit out of. So it really messes up your recruiting tactic.
Yeah, but another thing though, recruiting rankings, they aren't everything. I mean, I think this Kansas-Texas game is a pretty good sign of it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I thought Texas screwed the pooch by firing Tom Herman, because I think it was going to be his fourth year this year, so they're going to do the same thing as far as firing a coach every Texas will never build anything if they keep firing their coaches every 3 years. And we're seeing the results this year. This is what happens when you keep firing your coaches every 3 years. You will never build anything. Never.
Yeah, to all the people on the fire Neil Brown train, I mean, I understand why people are frustrated. I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
If you have ESPNU, watch the Kansas-Texas game. If you fire Neil Brown this season,
that's
which is way too soon, this is the future. That's
what's going to happen. Exactly. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, West Virginia, our fans have this idea that we're a blue blood major player in football. We're just, at this moment, we're not. Nope. In fact, I'd say we're probably a lot closer to being a blue blood in basketball than we are football.
I like it. Yeah, I agree with that, especially with Bob Huggins as a head coach. Good. Yes, well said. I agree with that 100%. I think the problem with this year is last year we overachieved because our defense was so elite. We should not have went to a bowl last year, guys. I hate to bust everybody's bubble, but West Virginia should not have went to a bowl. But because we had an elite defense, that's what got us there. We turned people over left and right. Our offense was bad, horrible last year. Our running game was the only thing we had. This year, our running game is non-existent because of the offensive line. We actually have a pretty decent passing game. People think that the problem is Jarrett Doege. It's not. It's our running game. The 2 times that Lady Brown ran for 100 yards or more was against TCU and Iowa State. What happened? We won. So it's like people don't really watch the game. They just look at the results and they look at who's the quarterback. They look at the mistakes that the wide receivers make, like today, Winston Wright, the ball going through his hands, hitting his helmet, and Kansas State picked it off. That wasn't on Jarrett Doege. That was on Winston Wright Jr. So you have to actually watch the games to know what's going on.
You know, this game actually gave me 2019 flashbacks to watching Austin Kendall. I mean, everybody hated him. Everybody wanted. It's funny. Back in 2019, Austin Kendall was the one everybody was hating on.
Who'd they want?
And they wanted Doege.
Yep, exactly.
And Doege, if you actually go back and watch the games in late 2019 and the 2020 season, Doege looked like a future star.
Yep, I agree with that.
I swear, I encourage anybody watching the stream to go back and watch some of Doege's old games. Like, I don't know what happened.
I think Doege is an emotional person. He gets on super highs and super lows, and I do think he listens to the fans too much, and it's a mental thing for him. I really because we've seen him have some great games. He had some wonderful touchdown passes against Iowa State. And he's just not consistent because he lets things get in his head too much.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he had 2 interceptions against Iowa State, but I mean, if you're slinging the ball all over the field and you get at least 3 touchdowns, which he did, I mean, you can excuse an interception or 2 as long as they're not in critical moments.
Yeah, and as long as you have a running game, which we did against Iowa State. That's the problem now. The 3-game losing streak that we went on against, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and Baylor, Letty Brown didn't even come close to sniffing 100 yards. And then TCU, Iowa State, he went over 100 yards. Oklahoma State, I don't even know if he reached 30 yards. And then today he got to 85, which is close, but still not. We have to be able to run the ball better. And that comes down to our offensive line. They are very talented, but they are extremely young. The one with the most experience is a sophomore. Our leading offensive lineman as far as experience is a freaking sophomore. So I do expect big-time improvement from them from this year to next year, especially, gelling together.
I think the secondary is going to get a lot better, too.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. On our defense, we lost Tyke Smith. We lost one of our cornerbacks, Deshaun Miller. We lost our 2 best linebackers. I mean, it was, and I think Fortune isn't playing right now because of injury. I mean, our defense is banged up tremendously, and we lost a lot of production from last year, and they're still not the unit that's losing ball games for us. It's our offense. So I don't have really anything bad to say about our defense. They play their butts off every game.
And I think the Big 12 as a whole is just a better conference than people give it credit for, too.
Especially offensively. Yeah, you got to be able to score points to win in the Big 12. It's not as bad as what it was in 2018 and 2019, but you still have to score at least, 30 points to win a football game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fake field goal by Ole Miss. I'm watching the Ole Miss game. He's still going. Holy crap, they got it. First down, Ole Miss.
lost my TV remote.
Wow.
I had to do it old style. But one last thing before I get.
Go ahead.
One last thing before I get off here. Two last things. Some quick trash talk. Texas, you suck. You're going to the SEC in another year or two, which you're getting beat by 20 to Kansas, which is just hilarious.
Hey, watch out for Vanderbilt and SEC, Texas. Man, watch out for Vandy. They'll get you.
They're tough. I'm telling you. You better watch out for them Commodores.
Oh, yeah.
And one more thing, Pitt, you're not a blue blood. Nobody cares about your pre-World War II national championships and the one you had in, like, the 80s, I think. And
I think it was 76.
West Virginia. Go ahead.
I think it was 76 or 77. Maybe 78. But it was in the 70s, their last title.
Yeah. So West Virginia has owned Pitt since, like, the late 80s. I mean, we have. You can go back and watch. I mean, not watch, but you can go back and, like, look up the stats. We've owned Pitt, so.
Well, since I was born, West Virginia has 18 wins to Pitt's 9 wins, including a 3-game winning streak. And we've been a better overall team. 2 undefeated seasons, 3-0 in BCS Bowls, a trip to the national championship, 3 chances to either get to or win a national championship, and Pitt has sucked. So, yeah.
And one quick thing, I hear Pitt fans say that they put out better NFL players or more NFL players. I mean, West Virginia, and, like, maybe it's changed a little bit, but I remember seeing back in 2019, we were second behind Oklahoma in the Big 12 for active NFL players.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. West Virginia puts out more NFL players than people realize. I agree with that.
Well, it was good calling, man. I'll let somebody else get a turn.
All right, man. Good call, man. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
Yeah, I'm not scared of Texas at all. And that's not trash talk. That's not hope. I hope we beat Texas, but really, I don't. No. West Virginia's going to beat Texas. Texas is a bad team right now. Really bad. Let's see. Let me check real quick, guys. Give me 1 second here. My side phone is not my favorite thing in the world. It's super slow. I don't know why either, because it's on the same plan as my regular phone and unlimited data, so it makes no sense. Alright, let's see. Quick check on the Texas game. Let's see if they're mounting a comeback on mighty Kansas. Come on, phone. Come on. Alright, here we go. No, it's still 42-21. Texas does have the ball. I might actually... Hold on, guys. I'm going to see if that game's on. That's... I did not plan on watching that game at all. But now? If it's actually on, I don't know. It might not be, because that's not really high demand. I'm not seeing it. Crap! Right when you want to see a Texas... Oh, there, no, it is on TV. Yeah. Well, I don't get that channel. That sucks. It's on ESPNU, and I don't get ESPNU. Crap. That sucks. Crap. Ah, ESPN, you let me down, man. Let me down. I mean, I don't really blame them for not putting them on there, but, man, that would have been cool to see. Oh, well. Let me check regular Fox real quick. I don't think it's on there. No, TCU, Oklahoma State. That's a blowout. 28-3, Cowboys. Yikes. Yikes. That's not good. Let's check good old CBS. Nope, that's not even football. Come on. What about ABC? I would expect, yeah, Notre Dame at Virginia. Last time I checked this game, Notre Dame, yeah, it's still 21-0. I picked Notre Dame to win this game, but I thought Virginia would cover. It doesn't look like they're gonna. And this is a good sign for Cincinnati. The better Notre Dame does, the better Cincinnati will do. It'll help with their ranking. And it looks like Notre Dame's about to score again. They're in field goal range, trying to score a touchdown. Down to about the 15-yard line, maybe. It's gonna be about 3rd down and 6 for the Irish. The Irish. Man, I mean, it shocked me whenever Kansas was up on Oklahoma 10-0 at halftime, and Oklahoma escaped Kansas. It's not like they came back and blew them out. It took that fumble steal from Caleb Williams on a 4th down for Oklahoma to beat Kansas. Maybe Kansas is better than that 1-8 record, and West Virginia should be scared of Kansas more than Texas. I don't know. It's weird. This is weird. Weird. But yes, touchdown Notre Dame. But there is a flag. Can we really beat both those teams? Yeah. I fully expect West Virginia to beat both those teams. Texas is 4-5. They might be 4-6 after Kansas, just like us. And they're getting blasted by Kansas. Kansas has gotten blasted by everybody except Oklahoma and now Texas. Don't let Texas and Oklahoma making Kansas look good for you. They're not a good team. Texas is not a good team. So, yeah, we'll beat both of them. We get Texas in Morgantown and Kansas on the road. I'm not scared of either one. 100%. It's weird. I'm actually more confident about Texas, which I'm not saying we'll lose to Kansas. Not at all. We will beat Kansas. But Texas, I'm not even... I think we'll beat Texas by 2 touchdowns at least. I really do. Texas does score a touchdown, 42-28. Even if Texas comes back and wins this game, this is a bad showing by the Longhorns at home. You can't get down, what was it, 35-14 and then 42-21. And, this could turn into a back and forth and, Kansas still win by 3 touchdowns. That's bad. Really, really bad. Be right back. Man, never thought I'd be interested in a Texas-Kansas game. That's weird. Yeah, I have full faith that West Virginia will win out. Everything that's happened hasn't surprised me because I called it. Splitting the home games between Iowa State and Oklahoma State, that's exactly what happened. They beat Iowa State, lost to Oklahoma State. I said they would lose to Kansas State. They lost to Kansas State. And I'm saying they're going to beat Texas and Kansas. Not worried about it. Because Iowa State is kind of on the same level as West Virginia. Iowa State got beat today by Texas Tech. Oklahoma State and Kansas State are 2 really good teams. So it's not like we went from here to here. It's we went from playing from here to here. But now we'll go from playing these guys back down to these guys. And that's why we'll beat Texas and Kansas. It was the teams that we were playing. We beat TCU and Iowa State. All of a sudden, West Virginia fans thought that West Virginia was a really good team because they upset 2 teams. TCU and Iowa State aren't that good. Oklahoma State, elite. Kansas State, having a great season. Now they're 7-3. They're not elite, but they're really, really good. And so we went from TCU, Iowa State, we beat them to. Then we go back to playing, Oklahoma State and Kansas State, who's up here, and we're going to go back down to playing Texas and Kansas. And that's why we will beat Kansas and Texas. There's not really any fluctuation. It's the quality of opponent that we've played. We've beaten who we're supposed to beat, and we've lost to who we're supposed to lose to. I think Texas Tech is better than what we realized. I mean, they beat Iowa State today. They weren't supposed to do that. Texas Tech is going to a bowl. So that's not as bad of a loss as what we thought it was when we did lose to them. Now, had we not come out flat in the first half, we would have beaten Texas Tech. At halftime, we were down 17-0. The good sign is that we came out in the second half and ended up tying it. Texas Tech had to win on a last-second field goal. A loss is a loss. Moral victories, and they kind of suck. But it was good to see that they fought back. They didn't give up, being down 17-0. Same thing today against Kansas State. We were down big at halftime. And we came out, scored a couple touchdowns. Kansas State still wins, but if we would have stopped them on that 4th and 8, West Virginia could have won that ball game. And the weird thing is, on the ESPN winning percentage predictor right now, they have Kansas with an 80.4% chance of winning. That's insane, people. That is insane. And the highest in that game so far is 88.4. So it's not like they got way up here and come way back down. They're going back and forth in scoring. So it's kind of stayed in the 80 percentile. But Kansas is going to have to punt. And that percentage just went down to 75.5. So Texas is not done yet. And Kansas is Kansas still. They're still bad. So being down, 3 touchdowns to Kansas is, it's doable to come back. So it's not that Texas fans should be worried that they're going to lose to Kansas. It's Texas fans should be worried that Kansas put 42 points on you. You can't erase that, Texas. Even if you come back and beat Kansas, you let Kansas score 42 points on you. That's like Florida today. They did come back and beat Samford, but they allowed Samford to score 52 points. You can't do that. That's bad. So it looks like Texas and Florida are kind of in the same spot right now. They're trash. I agree. All the criticisms that everybody is giving Jarret Doege, I agree with. He doesn't have any pocket awareness. He holds the ball way too long. He doesn't have any escapability. I agree with all the criticisms. The problem is, he's still our best shot of winning a game. He's the best quarterback we have right now. So, Garrett Greene, the argument goes towards Garrett Greene, right? We should start Garrett Greene. No. Garrett Greene doesn't know the offense well enough. He doesn't go through his progressions hardly at all. Almost never. He tucks it and runs way too much. He is a dynamic player. He's a little fumble prone. If we started Jarret Doege, we would lose probably every game that he started by a lot. But I do think that sprinkling him in more and giving the defense something more to think about, especially whenever our running game is not doing very well, he could be a boost to our running game. That's how we need to use Garrett Greene, to boost our running game, because our running game is the reason why West Virginia is losing games. That's why we're losing games. Our defense is fine. It's fine. It's not elite like it was last year, but it's fine. Our passing game, it's average. It's not elite, but it's not terrible. Jarret Doege, last time I checked, leading passer in the Big 12, most passing yards. top 3 in completion percentage, and top 3 in QBR. He's not a great quarterback. He's a decent quarterback. It's our running game. We are dead last at running the ball in the Big 12. West Virginia is dead last at running the ball. So when you can't run the ball, that puts too much pressure on your quarterback. And maybe that's one of his problems as far as his mental aspect. He knows that we can't run the ball, so he puts more on himself and he tries to do too much. And, you know, he's not good enough to win football games on his own. So that offensive line situation is what really needs to get figured out. And we saw glimpses of pretty good play by the offensive line in the TCU and Iowa State game. That's when Jarrett Nagy ran for over 100 yards. And what happened? We won both games. The 2 games in the Big 12 that Letty Brown ran for over 100 yards, West Virginia won. Is that a coincidence? Nope. Nope. And yes, we need to get an offensive coordinator as well. I think that's the big thing that West Virginia will go after in the offseason. Offensive coordinator. So, I don't know who we'll get, but it'll be better than what we got now. That's what I'll say about that. Offensive line improvement, which will lead to a better running game, and then an offensive coordinator. So, that's it in a nutshell. And that's why I don't buy that Neil Brown's just a terrible coach and we need to get rid of him. No, there's other issues that really don't have anything to do with him that need to be fixed. Offensive coordinator, the offensive line, and the running game. He has our defense fixed. Oh, thank you, Cryptic Keeper. Says, dude, whenever you go full-time on YouTube, if you need a writer, let me know. Would love to help for the show. Absolutely, man. Let me, hold on. Let me get on the show real quick and give you my email. Hopefully this phone doesn't take forever. Come on. It's actually not taking forever, surprisingly. Okay, make sure the volume is all the way down. Here we go. All right, there's my email address, Cryptic Keeper. Hit me up, and we'll talk about it and see if we can figure something out, because I will be quitting my part-time job by the end of the year. I'm starting to make enough money on YouTube to where I can go full-time, and I might need some help writing some shows. So I would, right now I'm a one-man show. Now, Joey, the owner of TriStateWhisketch.com, he is a tremendous help to this show. Tremendous help. He promotes me. He gets me guests. He gets me a guest spot on other shows. But as far as actually producing the show, I write my own stuff. I shoot my own stuff as far as video. I edit my own stuff, and I promote my own stuff as far as linking it out on Facebook and all that stuff. So, yeah, it can get a little much sometimes. But I love college football so much that to me, I don't realize how much work it is until I step back and somebody points it out. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it, so it doesn't feel like a lot of work. So, yeah, Nico Markle is an excellent quarterback. One of the best recruited quarterbacks West Virginia's had. I would say, as far as like actually coming out of high school, not after he was developed, right up there with, let's see. See, Pat White wasn't highly recruited. That's why I'm not putting Pat White in this category. Now, Pat White turned out to be a great quarterback. But as far as actually highly recruited out of high school, Major Harris and Geno Smith. That's how high of a recruit Nico Markle is. And his potential is as high as Major Harris and Pat White. So, yeah, we are getting a tremendous quarterback recruit next year. That's why I'm excited. That's why we can't fire Neil Brown. We have to get this recruiting class in before we even thinking of that. I guess it depends on, as far as starting as a true freshman, it depends on how quickly he shows that he knows the offense. I definitely think he'll play. And on top of that, Neil Brown might limit his starts to 4. That way he doesn't have to burn his red shirt. So, he could start 4 games next year and keep his red shirt. But he could still play meaningful snaps without starting. Does that make sense? We don't want him to burn his red shirt. We want him to have as many years as possible at West Virginia. So what will happen is, if he does grasp the offense fast, he will get those 4 starts. I do not see him starting more than 4 games, though, because I don't think we're going to burn his red shirt. But I do think he'll start 4 games and play a lot of meaningful football. Our quarterback competition is going to be pretty good next year. I didn't see that last comment. Wyatt says, so you think we should extend Brown's contract? We just extended him last year. So right now, no, we should not extend him right now. He's extended through 2026. We got to see what... Let's see. We got to see what he does next year. That's the big one. If we see some pretty good improvement, we go on to 2024. And then if we continue to see improvement, you would extend him again right before the 2025 college football season. So the next opportunity Neil Brown will have to extend a contract at West Virginia will be after the 2024, right before the 2025 season. Now, if we don't show any progress and we actually start regressing, next year after all them great recruits, then we might actually have to buy him out, after the 2023 or 2024 college football season. I don't see that happening, but you never know. He might not be the right fit. I'm not a fortune teller. All I know is we can't fire him before the end of next year. That's stupid. We see what's happening to Texas. They keep firing their coaches every 3 years, and they're struggling against Kansas. So we don't want to end up in that situation. If we do end up firing Neil Brown, it has to be after next year. It has to be. And the administration knows that. So, the fans might not be happy, and I get it. That's fine. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing on the field. But the administration knows the plan, and they like Neil Brown. He's not getting fired anytime soon. That's the bottom line. All right, guys. So I'm going to get off here. I've had a long day. I still wanted to do my hour-long trash talk. Had a couple of Florida State fans. I wasn't really expecting Florida State fans to call in, but they did beat Miami, so shouldn't be totally shocked. And also a West Virginia fan with some encouragement. So I had a pretty good time. Don't forget Football with the Brownie. Hey, if you got the call-in number, yeah, I can squeeze you in real quick. I'll give you a few minutes to call in. And an easy way to support the channel, hit the thumbs up. That helps with the YouTube and all that stuff. So we'll see. But I'm giving the other person a chance to call in real quick before I get off here. But if he doesn't call in, then I'm going to wrap it up and we'll get out of here. So let's see. I'll give him till 10:20. That's 3 more minutes. Besides the loss, I mean, losing sucks. It was a decent day. Very busy. Did a few things around the house. It was a pretty good day. It was also trash day. So in between my first live show and this live show, I had to take the trash down to the dump, so that's always a fun day. Gotta do what you gotta do. Life don't stop even when you have a YouTube channel. I think Green had a family situation. That's why he didn't travel to Kansas State. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's what I heard, that he had a family situation that kept him going to Kansas. Something along those lines. Let me check the Kansas score. Yes, I need to check that again. Oh. It does look like... Crap, come on, you stupid phone. It does look like Texas is coming back, by the way, guys. Doesn't surprise me. Still sucks, though. This phone is so freaking annoying. Come on. Alright, here we go. I wish that game was on TV. That would be hilarious. Come on. Here. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Texas is coming back on Kansas. It is now 42-35, and it is 4th and 4 for Kansas. So it looks like Kansas will have to punt. Hey, they made a good run out of it. They enjoyed that those 3 quarters where they had the lead. So Kansas showing some life. They scored three unanswered touchdowns at one point. 21-14, 28-14, 35-14. And then that's when Texas started scoring. Kansas still might win. You never know. But I think Texas will complete the comeback. All right, it's 10:20. I'm going to get off here, guys. Y'all have a good night. Don't forget, Super Chat contest drawing Wednesday. The live show will start at 7 p.m. The drawing will be at 8. The grand prize is a full-size helmet of whoever's favorite team, whoever wins the contest, their favorite team, and a $50 prize. Stuff like this from TriStateWhisketch.com, sponsored by Jeff Grimm. So your last chance to have an entry on the Super Chat contest will be on that live show. I'll start at 7. Drawing will be at 8. Every $5 donated through a Super Chat or a PayPal will go towards an entry. So $5 equals 1 entry, $10 equals 2 entries, and so on and so forth. And here's our entries so far. Let me run down this real quick. Anthony Zappin, he's donated $15, so he has 3 entries. Lewis Papp, he's donated $100, 20 entries. Ray Finkel's $20, 4 entries. Andre King, $5, 1 entry. Vandy Dandy, $5, 1 entry. Paul Riggs, $50, 10 entries. Sea-Dog, $10, 2 entries. Georgia Tech helmet, that's going to be hard to find if Sea-Dog wins. Huffer Billy Paul, $40, 8 entries. John Park, $40, 8 entries. True Seminole, $20, 4 entries. Adam Job, $15, 3 entries. Rhino, $100, 20 entries. Boxcar Pornstar, $10, 2 entries. Raj, $50, 10 entries. John Howell, $5, 1 entry. And Joe Rogan, $5, 1 entry. So there you go. Drawing will be on Wednesday. Live show starts at 7, and the drawing will be at 8. So y'all come back and let's see what helmet I'll be buying. Who wins it and what team will they be pulling for? So y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Good luck to whoever your team is, and I'll see you on Wednesday. And don't forget, tomorrow, more regular videos. College football video every single day. And whenever college basketball starts getting ramped up in conference play, I'll start doing college basketball videos as well. I'll try to get into that probably around mid-December, late December, something like that. All right, y'all have a good weekend. Golden Blue Dude out.